What's up, guys? Dylan Rush with K-Chai Press, joined today by a recently retired UFC fighter, now the founder of Ocho TV, Stephen Ocho Peterson. How you doing, Stephen?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. Just staying busy and trying to stay on top of this whole thing.
Of course, man. So before we get into all the different business ventures you've been pursuing and getting into recently, are you still coaching at 47 MMA down in Dallas?
Of course, man. That's what gives me like reason for being. Uh, I feel like it's my calling to help these young guys coming up. I went through a tough path for a reason, so I can turn around and share it with these young guys and give them a better opportunity.
Mm-hmm. I recently saw you at UFC 295. I had a great time. It was my birthday. How did you enjoy that experience in New York City?
Man, it was great. Wolf of West Coast did the fan experience, so we got to take a fan out and show them a great time. It was epic, honestly. The dude actually got to see me get into it with Dillon Danis and got to get the video credit. So uh, yeah, it couldn't have gone any better.
How did that happen with Dillon Danis? Did you run into him outside? Like you just bumped into him or what?
Yeah, this motherfucker was just waiting for somebody. He was just standing outside the front. It's like he was looking for somebody to get into it with. And as soon as he saw me, he was like mugging me. He was like, just fucking me mugging me.
Yeah.
I was like, "You're a fucking clown." And then all of a sudden, it just snapped into action. You saw Phil Haas like trying to
Yep.
flank me on my left side, and then he had two other boys trying to flank me on my right, and I was just like, "Who won it?" Like I had open palm. I was like, "Man, somebody's getting smacked. Touch me." But
Yo,
nobody steps.
all the comments were fucking on your side. People were making fun of Phil Haas. Like it was that was pretty funny, bro. That was a funny video. I wish I could have been there for that. I must have left you what, like 30 minutes before that. But
Yeah, man, you just gotta stick around, and some drama's gonna
I
happen.
know, bro. It's a good time. But Wolf of West Coast, how did you meet this guy? Like what do you guys work together in some capacity?
Well, I actually met him at the UFC fan experience.
Oh, really?
So yeah, after my Julian Rosa fight, I went up. So one of our buddies with the UFC, Johnny Williams, he was just working, and he walked up to me and was like, "Yo, Ocho, do you and your homie want to go up to VIP, free drinks, free food?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go, man!" So it was 1 week after my fight with Julian Rosa, and he brought me up there, and shoot, people formed a line as soon as I got there, asking for pictures, autographs, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like now I made it, like finally.
Yeah.
So it was cool to be recognized. And after that, I met Wolf there. Um, then I met him again in Vegas. I met him at Madison Square Garden. So it was like he frequents the UFC fan experience, and that became a regular thing for me to go to the fan experience when I went to the fights, and basically network and meet VIPs up there. I'm not going up there just to party. I'm going up there. Uh, basically network and meet
Make
high
connections.
level people. Yeah, so I met Wolf, and he started sponsoring my league. So I had my first show. He was one of my first sponsors to hop on board, and we've been cool ever since, man.
Oh yeah, man. I'm sure you gained a lot of fans after the Rosa fight, like you mentioned, but I think you gained the biggest fan of yours was my friend Sebastian, who met you at UFC 295. He loved you, man. So you definitely got a fan in Sebastian for life. You remember that guy?
Yeah, man, he's cool. I think it's just about being real with people and not being a fucking star. Just going in there and leveling with people, because that's what we are. We're all just people, and once you get too big for your britches, then you kind of put yourself out, and you nobody's too big. Like we're all humans, so treating people with respect, and then you'll be respected in return.
Completely agree, man. So let's talk about the fighting, the promotion, December 16th, Fight Fit Fighting League, the Rivalry 2 seasons, beatings, amateur MMA and Muay Thai, right? And is the rivalry Dallas versus Fort Worth?
Yeah, so in our amateur series, we're doing Dallas versus Fort Worth. So yeah, and we're gonna do more rivalries amongst Texas for the amateurs. But when they go pro, we want it to be the Fight Fit Fight League is all about uh, having a league rather than just having an organization. So the pros shouldn't be fighting other guys from Texas, and we all came up fighting basically Dallas versus Fort Worth or Dallas versus Houston. And these promoters, they just don't like flying guys in because, you know, it comes out of pocket, right? So when we have our amateurs go pro, we're going to have them fight other fighters from other states. I feel like it's going to help with fan engagement. You know, the fans are going to get behind Texas fighter. If my fighter's from Texas, then all of Texas is going to be behind him. If this fighter's from California, then he's going to have a following in California. So we're going to build them up through the rivalry, Dallas versus Fort Worth, and then when they go pro, they're not going to find anybody from Texas, at least not under our league.
And where is this going to be, the event on December 16th? Is it in Dallas or?
So this one's in Irving. Last one was in Dallas. So now we're doing middle ground. We would do Fort Worth, but we had some issue with some venues over there. So we're doing Irving, Southern Junction. It'll also be aired on my new channel coming up, ochotv.net. The app is coming soon, but right now we're building the server. So ochotv.net will be airing that, and a lot of other original content coming to ochotv.net for subscribers.
You're getting all this stuff off the ground and you're doing it fast, man. I know you started before you ended your UFC career, but you fought just last March, I believe, right, in San Antonio, Lucas Alexander, and now you're already getting into all this stuff. What's been your favorite part of this whole process, getting this off the ground, and what's been the hardest obstacle you've had to overcome?
Well, I've been planning this for like years, and it's been something in the making that it's just I had to retire from fighting. Otherwise, this would hinder my fighting. So, uh, you know, I've been, you know, handling the back end work, but I've always had you know, a dream of starting my own production company, which is Ocho TV, and my own league. So it's just something that you know, I've been working on for a long time, but not able to actually give it the attention. Fighting takes everything.
Yeah,
So I, you know, stepped away from fighting so I can really focus on this. And, you know, that's my favorite part is just like seeing something that was in my head, like a dream that everybody's like, yeah, yeah, sure, sure. You're going to start your own league. Oh, cool. Whatever. You start your own media company. Okay. You know, we'll see how that goes. And, you know, just seeing it come to fruition and actually becoming a real thing, it's extremely rewarding.
yep, I bet. What about some obstacles? Have there been some obstacles along the way? I could imagine.
Bro, fuck, man. Just shitty business partners. Like, now I found some great partners. My first show, I kind of got fucking stabbed in the back and twisted and gutted, and they were like, "We'll see if he can do it again." And then I, you know, was able to, you know, pick up the scraps and you know, have another show and just being consistent. So it's really just, you know, people not doing what they say they're going to do or having ulterior motives because my motives are pure. I want to really help the fighters. Uh, it's not about making money, but we have to make money to keep doing this shit. So that's a balance. We have to be profitable, otherwise it doesn't make sense. So uh, that's a big, you know, not struggle, but a big obstacle is you know, finding sponsors to actually make it all happen, and you know, dealing with the snakes upon the way.
Definitely, definitely. I feel the same way with my own stuff. It's like it's a balance. I love what I do, and I know you do this for the love of the game, not for the money. But like if you're not making money doing it, it's hard to keep doing it. So you definitely have to find that balance. Uh, I know you're a big music guy. You got a bunch of musician friends, right? Kasky, a couple other guys. I always forget what's his name. Princeton Marcellus.
Princeton Marcellus, that's my boy right there.
The first interview. Could we see possibly you incorporating maybe music, maybe performances into some shows, into some fighting events?
For the people that have been to my shows, you're already seeing it, man. We get these artists to perform as well, and you know, I've signed a couple artists under the label. We're you know, producing original content for the artists and adding their music along with that. So yeah, Ocho TV Studios coming soon. Yeah, we're gonna blow it out of the water. I just don't want to say too much, but you look for some music. We got December 16th, December 15th, Dallas Anthem is
Joe
dropping
King.
on Spotify by Joe King and Jacoby. Jacoby 88, that's my boy. Um, the first guy that actually got me to seriously hop on a track. And December 24th, Christmas Eve, we're going to hop on the first track that I recorded with him. It's been a real passion project, a real touching song called Way Back When. that one's going to come out, and you'll see the link here in about a week or two.
So you fight. I mean, I know you're a former fighter, but you still train, you still coach, you're doing music, you're doing the promotions, you're a father. Like, where do you find all the time in the day to do all of this stuff, man, and balance it all out together?
I just don't have any downtime, man. Like if I'm chilling with my boys, I'm chilling with my boys who are the artists, and we're just messing around making music. Like that's a pastime of mine. That's a therapy. Martial arts, that's another therapy. Really, the only work is like the computer shit, editing. That's work for me. I do enjoy it because that becomes an art form, but it's a lot of tedious work. The spreadsheets, planning, um, that's all work. So when I get done with that, I just want to hop on the track with some artists, or just be part of the artistic process with these guys, and that's really what I enjoy. So rather than just going out and fucking partying, like what's there to party about? We gotta make music, and that's a form of therapy for me. So that's how I unwind, and then wake up in the morning and fucking back to the spreadsheets, back to coaching. Coaching is work. I do enjoy it. It pays off. Like it's rewarding when when you see their success or how they've grown. But it's a grind day in, day out. In the gym, I'm in the gym about 4 to 7 hours a day, depending on the day. So uh, that's work. If I hop on the mat and I train, that's therapy. Spreadsheets, that's work. Then fucking music, that's therapy. So just finding that balance, and then trying to find some time to sleep in between.
I gotta ask this question, even though me personally, not that my opinion matters in this regard, but just I don't think you should ever fight mixed martial arts again because you have so many other passions, you have so much other stuff going on for you. And like you said, fighting it takes everything, both just like while you're training for it, but also physically it takes a physical toll on your body as time goes on. But could we ever see you compete once again in mixed martial arts?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say no. First things first, my league has to fly. My league's the most important thing. My Ocho TV Productions, that's the second. And it's gonna take a mill. Honestly, if fuckers like Dillon Danis are making $1 million fighting, like dude's a fucking clown. He hasn't even fought a real one. So uh, yeah, it's gonna take $1 million plus everything else has to fly. Ideally, I'd like my documentary on UFC Fight Pass. I'd like my league to be streamed on UFC Fight Pass. Those things would have to happen first before I'd even consider it. Um, you're more likely to see me in a boxing match against Dillon Danis or some crazy shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Okay, something that I've been so excited to speak to you about for a couple weeks now. I've been looking forward to it. Your lemur allegedly attacked your neighbor. Something was going on there. He was going to sue you. You were going to countersue him. I need the story. What happened there with the lemur, with your pet lemur?
Fucking crazy shit, bro. We call it monkey business, right? Um, yeah, he got his fucking panties in a wad and decided he wanted to sue me. Um, so, long story short, I'm in the studio with having a meeting with one of my mentors, and I get a call. It's my neighbor. I'm like, okay, I'll call him back later. Put the phone down, and then I get a text. Your fucking monkey just bit me. I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. Get your ass out here. I was like, oh my god. Like, okay, uh, I'll be right back, dude. I ran out there, and there's blood everywhere, and dude's like fucking squirting out of his hand blood, and he's yelling at me. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, yes, it's totally understandable. Like, let me help you. And so he ends up going to the hospital and getting rabies shots, which is there's a process before you're supposed to do that. But he starts getting all the treatments. He told me he'd send me the medical bills, and I was like, dude, that's totally understandable. Then I went back and looked at my security footage, and I was shocked, man. You could see he trapped the lemur in his garage, where he had told me the lemur was in his garage, and he shoot him. So that led to me going through probably hundreds of hours of footage, which I have tens of thousands, like constantly recording on my security cameras. So Yeah, so I unveiled a plot to sue me, and he had planned to sue me, and then the plan ensues of you know Benadryl, drugging the monkey, box traps, snare traps, baiting. Um, yeah, plethora. Apparently, he tried to shoot him, but he thought he had killed him. He said he shot a squirrel and wanted to check in my backyard for the squirrel, the dead squirrel. So yeah, he was shooting at him with a BB gun, and he had walked in my garage at one point, and I was in my office, so I saw him walk in my garage on my camera, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I ran out in the garage. I was like, "Dude," I went off on him, and oh, I'm sorry, and that's the video I sent you. It has a little bit of that in there, but
Yeah.
yeah. So look for the whole story once I go through and edit those hundreds of hours of you'll see the plot unfold on ochotv.net. Subscribe. Coming soon. Give me about a week or so. We'll launch all that, and then you'll see the episodes coming out, and you probably see some high profile lawsuit court action if this guy doesn't know what's good for him. If he knows what's good for him, he'll drop the suit, and maybe I'll just share the video. But
Mm.
the way things are right now, I think we're gonna be a back and forth battle, and I'm gonna sue this motherfucker. He's trying to kill my monkey.
Yeah.
So he tried to kill Squeaks is his name. He tried to kill Squeaks. Squeaks was confiscated, and he had to go in quarantine for 30 days, and then we donated him to the Dallas Zoo. So that's the best thing that came out of all of this is Dallas Zoo gets a new lemur. Squeaks is happy. He's got a good environment, and he's got some other lemurs to hang out with. So I'm happy about that. Um, the rest of it, it's just a bunch of bullshit that I didn't need to deal with. So fuck you, neighbor.
Well, it's a good happy ending for Squeaks. I hope it's a happy ending for you. I hope that stuff all gets resolved. He sounds like a crazy neighbor, man. Uh, Back to the fight league and all the other stuff you got going on. What's your primary mission in this next chapter of your life? Of course, there's probably gonna be a bunch of more chapters in your life, but after right immediately following your fighting career, you're going on these different ventures, these journeys. What do you hope to accomplish in these next few years with Ocho TV and with Fight Fit League?
I want to build a dynasty. That's what I'm doing. I want to give these fighters a better opportunity than I have. Give them a path, and build them up from the ground up to where they're amateurs, and we're documenting their career and their stories. So they'll be able to share their stories, add value to their fighting careers, so they're not fighting for scraps, and then just show them the path so they can accomplish their dreams.
What are some things that you tell the fighters at Fortis, like the younger guys or even outside of Fortis, just younger fighters coming up? Some things that maybe not that you regret, but some things that maybe you did or didn't do that maybe you advise them, do this, don't do that.
Listen to your coach. The coaches that we have now. When I was young, I was like, "Fuck it, I'll fight anybody," and I'm still that way. I'll fight anybody, but uh, make the fight worth the money that you're making. So if you ain't making no money, be choosy with your fights.
Yeah.
Once you're making big bucks, then yeah, you can fight anybody. But the way you're gonna make the big bucks is by building yourself up properly. So, um, just be patient and trust in your coaches and managers. Make sure you have one that you believe in, somebody that's actually done it before. Because a lot of coaches have never fought in their life, and they think that they can guide these fighters. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I see fighters or coaches in the UFC locker rooms that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So, uh, you know, train with somebody that knows what they're talking about, and then just trust them all the way.
I feel like it's absolutely crucial in this fight game that you surround yourself with the right people. Would you agree, right? That's what you're saying, basically.
Absolutely, man. Early in my career, I didn't have the best coaches. They put in time, they definitely put in the time and effort, but they believed that they knew it all. And, those same motherfuckers stabbed me in the back when they saw that I was having better opportunities. So I was loyal to my own detriment, and just make sure you're loyal to the right people.
All right, I like that message to the younger fighters out there and to the people coming up. I need one more message before I let you go. A message to the fans. What can fans expect to see from out of you, Stephen Ocho Peterson, from Ocho TV, from the Fight Fit Fighting League, and all the other things you're working on in these next few months?
Expect to be entertained. You're going to see a point of view that you haven't seen. You're going to see stories that will shock you. You'll be able to relate with them. So just stay tuned. Ocho TV is going to change the game, and the F3L League, the Fight Fit Fight League, is going to help these fighters share their story. And we're building the next stars. We're building the stars of tomorrow with the FFL.
Oh yeah, man. I would love to be at this next event. If I can't make it out to this one, I'll definitely make it out to the next one. It seems like you're doing a lot of good stuff, not only for yourself, but for other fighters, for your teammates at Fortis. I'm always going to be a big fan of yours. This was our third interview, Ocho. I'm going to need to get to 10 interviews in the next like 2 or 3 years. How's that sound? Sound good?
Hey, let's keep this ball rolling, Rush, man. You're one of my favorite media personalities. Wolf of West Coast really loves you. He wants to get behind you. So shout out to Wolf of West Coast. Shout out to Tequila Sheila, Hutchins Barbecue, uh, Tyson Law, and the F3L.
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely work together in some capacity, man. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for taking the time, bro. We'll talk soon, man. Be good. Take care.
All right, you too, brother.
See you, bro.